All right, so welcome to Open Caller. I am Corey Willis with Michelle Sheth, and joining us this week, good friend of the show, one Holly. Are we going by your current name or soon-to-be married name?
I guess we can go by my soon-to-be married name. We've got only 20 days to go, so.
Smith?
My married name will be Eckert.
Hyphenate?
Mosky.
Ooh. Fun times. So quick shout out to our live stream viewers on YouTube, youtube.com/govnc, and to our listeners around the globe on all various podcatchers. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining. So what's new with everyone, Michelle?
Not a whole lot, as per usual.
That long gasp.
Yeah, I thought there was something, and then no, there wasn't.
No, and for Holly, we know 20 days and counting.
Yeah.
How are the nerves?
Good. We're super excited. Well, I'm super excited. I don't know about Michael. He might be nervous. We'll find out.
And if he is, he's never allowed ever to say ever.
We watched The Wedding Singer, so that's not a great movie to watch before you get married, since he gets dumped.
No, that's how it goes, though, right? That's based on true story.
Next up is Wedding Crashers to see what you have to deal with.
Bounce them out. Anyone been to Best Buy recently?
.com.
Or when was the last time at the store? Box store.
The last time we went to see a movie, probably.
So a while ago, then.
Yeah, a while ago.
I was there last week, and boy, was I surprised at the changes that have occurred. So I should have known that there was something going on when I walked in. There was no greeter.
What?
Typically, you walk in, you blow past the guy who is not paying attention anyway.
Hey, welcome to.
But when you come in, I have like the new releases right in front. That's all gone. It's all like Google Home, Apple Home, or sorry, was it Google Apple Pod, HomePods, or Alexa? That's all in the front. And you know where the Nintendo section was, the video games?
Yeah,
there's
like
one very small aisle that's movies now.
Really?
Half of it's movies, the other half is TV shows. On the other side is video games, and that's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's all because it's all getting like smart homey and speaker.
Yeah. And digital.
We were there the other day.
The one in Canada?
Yeah, the one in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
It's all right. You know what surprised me though is we were in the Hazeldean Mall and they have a CD store.
Sorry, a what store?
A CD store.
What are those? Oh, Coast displays.
Right back to the
yeah, like
the Betamax.
Like a record shop kind of thing. I don't know.
Well, vinyl is coming back from what I've been hearing.
Yeah.
Hasn't it been coming back for years?
I feel like still coming back. It's not quite back.
It's continually coming back.
It's coming back in spurts, I guess. More and more, like there's even comedians now that are putting comedy albums, which I'm surprised there's still comedy albums on vinyl. But is there anything else in Hazeldean Mall except for like a carpet cleaner or something?
So that's because we've been gone from Ottawa for about 3 years. And yeah, I was really surprised at Hazeldean Mall. It's really not much going on there anymore.
It still exists.
Yeah, it's just there.
Yeah, they had that big Target and that closed, so that's probably so the whole like where that Target where I think it used to be like Zellers is all blocked off, that whole side.
It just wasted space in behind.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess that's another thing that's going on is just malls in general.
Yeah, physical,
at least that
physical
one.
Shopping. No, thank you.
Well, I was just thinking is like the switch to digital for movies and music. Is that the result of just where things are going or piracy?
I think it's just where things are going. I think it's
or did one speed up the process?
I think I think piracy sped up the process, but
yeah,
digital stuff is just, I mean, we were just talking about digital downloads for the Switch games and stuff, and how just way more convenient they are. And digital versions of movies are now, they're coming out before the DVDs. So, why would you wait an extra couple weeks just to get the physical copy? Other than having the actual copy. But if you wanted it, you can just get the digital version and watch it right away, or play it right away, or whatever the case may be.
You both are avid Netflix users, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not as much. So I don't I guess the Netflix in terms of movies is, unless it's original content, it works the same as like a movie channel or something. You gotta wait like almost a year for it to come on there.
It's original content is just like there all the time, obviously, but other movies it's up to whoever has the rights and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's usually it'll usually come up not shortly after, like a couple months after the digital release. So you're not waiting too long if you want to watch a movie. It's because the DVDs and stuff are coming out maybe 2 months after they leave the theater.
Yeah, I think
Or
it's
in
like
some
90
cases,
days or something.
Yeah, in some cases like Black Panther, even while they're still in the theater.
Well, that was to get it to cross 700 million.
Yeah. But and then I would say a couple months after that is when Netflix would get it.
The other thing is, like, if you're willing to pay for it on Apple TV, you can just rent whatever you want, and those come out like right away.
Yeah, the on-demand stuff.
Yeah, and they're like, I guess like $5.99 or something to rent, and then like it's almost as soon as they're out of theaters.
Yeah, it's the same with on like Google Play, on Google Play Movies and stuff like that. You can rent or buy the digital version like as soon as it's available. So
it's like that with TV shows, right? Is usually like maybe a couple days after it airs on TV.
Yeah.
I will say the one thing I do miss though with all the digital is I miss going to Blockbusters and like actually going and picking a movie and getting an ice cream, and like it was like
seeing that like wall of new release movies
that were all already rented out before.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, God damn it. Try and find the one that's like kind of sticking out, because you're like, yes, there's one behind there.
I liked that, and there wasn't so much choice. Like we can look at Netflix for an hour and not decide on a movie because we're like, maybe.
Yeah, you built your night around a Blockbuster rental.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
exactly. It was an outing.
Then there was always you go for like radio or something like that, the big release, and it's all gone, and you have to settle for like the smaller release that came out that week. Well, I guess we'll just watch Snow Dogs again.
Yeah. All right, I guess it's a Weekend at Bernie's kind of night.
Not Weekend at Bernie's too.
No. Oh man.
But yeah, there's one now. I think the two in Alaska closed. Yeah, Portland, I don't think Portland, but at least in Oregon State, there's one.
The last lonely Blockbuster.
Yeah, they're doing a documentary on it. No, that's the last one.
The Last Unicorn.
That's right.
It's like the dodo before that bastard shot it, and this was the last one.
Whoops.
Let's switch gears. Time for V's Teas. What you got on today, Michelle?
Got a little Seinfeld action going on. It's these pretzels are making me thirsty.
Oh, I get it.
One of the classic Seinfeld quotes.
For the Woody Allen movie?
Yeah, exactly. So last week I watched Seinfeld on a pretty regular basis, just in the background.
Yeah.
And, that was the episode, and I was like, oh man, like I know I have a shirt that says this, because I got it years ago from 80stees.com, actually.
Well, look how that worked out.
Yeah, crazy.
Bills are paid.
And then I was at the Buskers Festival on the weekend, and Emily and I went to, I think it's called the Beer Market, and I got this pretzel, and it was massive, and it was amazing. It was
soft pretzel?
Yeah, it was
just a massive
it was
rolled
huge.
gold.
Was it
Yeah,
a
it was.
Whitey Whacker?
What's that?
The Simpsons? Was it a Whitey Whacker?
No.
Here come the pretzel.
And here come the pretzels.
It was bigger than that. It would have been like a whitey bomb. But yeah, and then I was like, all right, that's 2 pretzel things in a week. I have to find this shirt. And I did.
And you got it at 80cs.com. Coke break.
Right.
So visit 80cs.com, enter the promo code OpenColor30 at checkout, save 30% on your purchase. 80cs.com, celebrate your inner 80s kids with the raddest retro t-shirts and pop culture gear. Random question. What movie would be greatly improved if it was made into a musical?
None.
Go.
0. There's
I'll throw this out to you, and you'll probably agree when you hear it, because it already features like 2 dance breaks and 3 songs. Spider-Man 3.
Okay, can we
Oh,
like that's
Stuff
not
just
really
got serious.
fair because almost anything would improve Spider-Man 3.
but do you think it would be that much better? Like, it justify the song breaks and the dance breaks.
I don't know if it would be better. It would definitely be different.
Yeah,
Well, that's different.
I think it would be like a sideways promotion.
A lateral move.
Lateral move, yeah.
Nobody else would be doing anything like it, so it would be.
for a pretty good reason, I feel.
Yeah, you just shit on Spider-Man 3 all day.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
And yet, I'll still watch it over and over and over.
Easily made into a musical. Not, I don't know if it'd be better, but and this is probably going to be really girly, but My Best Friend's Wedding.
There's singing in that one.
There's a lot of singing in that as it is.
Yeah.
Be a musical.
I feel like I wonder if any of the like Guardians of the Galaxy, like it's essentially the people aren't singing, but the music is a main part of that movie. I don't think it would be better if the people were actually singing the songs while they were fighting and doing all that stuff. But yeah,
Chris Pratt like lip syncs to part of it and dances.
But, yeah, but I think something like that, some sort of any of the other Marvel movies, I feel like you could turn them into opera styles,
like the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, dramatic music.
Yeah. Still, Spider-Man 3 is halfway there.
Halfway there.
It's just you're going like full commitment then. I like to see like just Sam Raimi walking into Sony's office with that script and going, "Here, guys," and them going, "Love it, let's go." But since you brought up Guardians, you've been following the latest of the James Gunn saga that is. Will they hire him or rehire them? Will they not rehire him? Will they use his script? Will they not use his script?
I feel like there's really no chance of them rehiring. But if more of the cast make as big of a stink as Dave Bautista does, then I feel like Drax he's a great part of the movie, but I think that he's also on the expendable side of the 5 of them. He would be the one that's easiest to either kill off or, say, "Oh, and Drax had to go back to his homeworld." Like,
Poochie.
Yeah. That he's the easiest one, I think, of the 5 to get rid of.
Although, if Vin Diesel made a fuss, replacing I Am Groot with someone else singing. Yeah,
that's true, too. But I guess, so Dave Bautista basically said, "This is ridiculous. I might leave." And it wasn't to get James Gunn back directing. It was just to use the script that he that he submitted or was close to submitting or whatever the case is.
Yeah, I think they have a draft. I don't know if it's like the final.
Final.
Or I guess
Yeah,
it must be the final. They're ready to go in January.
Yeah. But then I was reading that if they do that, they obviously have to give James Gunn the credit for it. And it seems like they just want to distance themselves from the name altogether. And then in that case, it's like, all right, new writer, new director, all that, the delay, I don't think it's going to cost them that much. It's this movie, Guardians 3 isn't really building on anything that's working right now, right? Like Avengers 4 is already going to happen. There's going to be
it's all new.
Three or four other movies in between then, and then this is going to be well past everything. If it gets delayed another year, it gets delayed another year, and it's not going to. I don't think it's going to affect the timeline very much. But at the same time, it does seem like there's a lot of support for James Gunn returning from a lot of people. So
right.
I think if it was anybody but Disney, maybe he could be coming back. But
yeah,
because Disney is like, they're very known for the certain standards of their employees and people like on Disney projects because it's Disney. So
that's funny because like from what I read today is that he's already getting offers from like everybody but Disney.
Yeah.
So yeah, that goes plays that up, right? If it wasn't Disney, then would this be even conversation to have?
I really don't think that. I think anyone else, they may have said something like, "Hey, we don't agree with this. We're viewing our options. We're discussing what we can do about it." And in the end, James Gunn would still be on the project. But because it's Disney, because they're the kid-friendly, family-friendly, like family-friendliest, kid-friendliest conglomerate on the in the world, they kind of have to stick with it. At the same time, they've stuck with Robert Downey Jr. and he wasn't it was different levels of badness for sure, but they knew his history and took him on, or Marvel did at least, and they're still standing by him. So I don't know, it's hard to say, but
it's the political climate, right?
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, that's the thing, is times were different 10 years ago. And, if we're not judging stuff like that from 10 years ago and, oh, well, that was more acceptable, or that was just what people did, or blah, 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 10 years ago, then, it's the same sort of thing with James Gunn's and just a bunch of, everyone else is like, oh, this is what he said when he was 16 years old. Lots of people say stupid stuff when they're 16.
Well, let me ask you guys this. This is not it wasn't more acceptable then, or is it always bad? It was just people are less sensitive to it than they are now. Because I saw a video the other day. It was an hour worth of homophobic jokes from Friends over the course of the 10 years. That you watch back and you're like, oh yeah, a lot of this stuff was just straight up, making fun of lesbians, making fun of guys hugging, guys doing all this stuff. Was it ever acceptable then, or just people are like, yeah, whatever. They're obviously making a joke out of it.
That was the thing. There was a big, when you can't watch stuff 10 years later and then judge it for how the times are now. Because if we were to watch stuff like I Love Lucy right now, I'd be like, oh, you can't do that. And you can't.
Honeymooners threaten to smack your wife across the face.
Exactly. You can't.
Any of the old movies, like the Turner Classic Movies, you'd be shocked at the things they say and do in them. They're just
exactly they were made in a certain time period for that time period, and rewatching it now, you're watching it for the entertainment value. You're not watching it for exactly what they're saying and how they're you can't judge it in 2018 for being made in being made in 2010 or being made in the 90s or the 80s.
Hell, 2017 people weren't talking like they are now.
Yeah, that's true.
What's
But like,
funny is comedians say like a lot of bad stuff, and people still are watching them and laughing at everything they say. Like, so in the context of a joke, which I think his tweets were jokes, maybe we don't find them funny, but like the comedians say a lot worse.
absolutely. Well, we talked about.
I think we're talking about Eddie Murphy's
Yeah, exactly.
Raw or Delirious. That was in the 80s. And just like the first 10 minutes of it when he was going on about gay guys looking at his ass.
It's
okay.
Like, you can't say, yeah, exactly. There's absolutely no way that you could pick even 5 minutes in a row of Delirious or Raw and have people kind of stand for it today. Even though it's hilarious, like you have to know that it's not like I will laugh at that, but that doesn't mean I also think that way, or I agree with what he's saying. I just think it's funny, partly because of the way he says it.
You do not agree with that kid dropping his ice cream.
Yeah. It's like the Chris Rock routine.
What you want, a cookie?
What you want, a cookie? Exactly. Like, that it was a different time, and that joke was a lot funnier then than it is now. It's still funny, but you just can't say it out loud anymore.
Well, speaking of sign of the times, the Oscars are trying to be hip with the kids and shorten their 4-hour plus presentation down to 3 hours. Part of the changes are include will be having winners be announced during commercial breaks. I guess for the less showy awards,
Popular, yeah.
Best
sound mix and all that. And then I think the part that really struck a nerve with everyone else is the introduction of a new category, Outstanding Achievement in Popular Film. The hell is that all about? I think
the hell is to get Black Panther an award,
right? It's like you have the
100%.
biggest movie of the year, which is has a predominantly black cast, created by a predominantly black crew, and to show your appreciation for what will likely win the award is let's separate them from the rest and give them their own award.
Like, yeah, it's it's not gonna win. It's basically they're putting in a Teen Choice Award into the Oscars. So that's what it is.
Movie awards during the Oscars.
Yeah, it's so that superhero movies and comic book movies, cartoon movies that are not just
they created the best animated film.
Yeah,
they separated all the and only I think since Beauty and the Beast, only 2 other animated movies were nominated for Best Picture, which is Up and Toy Story 3.
Yeah,
neither one of them won.
But yeah, it's definitely a Teen Choice Award. Like they should just be like, all right, everyone else, you get this, and Black Panther, you get either a surfboard or the spaceman.
Choice of one of these fabulous 5 prizes.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. They're like that. They're maybe not what they're doing, but that they're trying to change it because their viewing is down. So they have to do something to bring their viewing up. Maybe this will. But we're talking about it, so that automatically generates buzz. So maybe that's why they're doing kind of more controversial moves. So we talk about it.
Fair enough. But again, my problem with it is just it's the fact that because they tried to appeal, like after The Dark Knight came out and didn't get nominated, and it was probably I think the best, if not one of the best reviewed movies of that year. The following year, to try to make up for that, they increased from 5 to up to 10 nominations for Best Picture. After that, we had again like Civil War, all these big movies that were reviewed very well. Obviously, ones you wouldn't consider for Best Picture, but again, nothing like that got considered. But then the closest I think they got to after that was Logan. I think that was considered, or it was a push for it, or Deadpool, the first one. At least in terms, one of them was when they were trying to push for it. Yeah, Logan, I think, was probably the
sure it was Logan.
And obviously that didn't, but it won, I think, Best Adapted Screenplay or something like that. So again, they're getting notoriety through that, but at the same time, the Oscars are forever going to be overlooked at movies that come out from, I think, end of October to December. That's award season. That's when all the festivals are going on. So this is just, again, one way of including movies that they were never going to look at anyway, because they came out, January through August.
Yeah.
The big tentpole season.
Yeah, at that point, you've already forgotten. By the time the Oscars come out, you're like, hey, what came out in the last 4 months that I need to watch? Like, that's the other thing, too. I don't know, the Oscars have never been an award show that I've been interested in, and I think it's because
that used to be my Super Bowl.
Oh, really? Yeah, like it was
really
just
hardcore into movies.
It's so much, now I'm like, because before, yeah, maybe I would be like, all right, I got to watch all the Oscar nominees, and there was only 5 of them, so it was a little easier to get through, and maybe I would have already seen one of them. So, I'm watching 4 movies, maybe. Now, I probably will not have seen any of the Oscar-nominated movies for Best Movie, and there's going to be 7 of them, or whatever. And I'm like, also, I'm just not interested in those movies. But all the other ones, I bet you I will have seen all or maybe not one of the ones in the popular achievement in popular culture award or whatever it is. I will have seen all those movies.
My fear for that is like I guess they haven't said what the criteria would be, but if it's based on box office, if you could have like a Transformers be the #1 grossing film that year, and it's got like a 2%, aggregated Rotten Tomato score because only 2 people like the movie. Is that really outstanding achievement that you've somehow overcome a 2% Rotten Tomato score and made $300 million? Like Suicide Squad?
But is it going to be just based on how much money they make? Because at that point, then never, it's like, all right, here are the nominees and here's how much they made. So clearly this is the winner. We talked about that with like sports awards where you can be like, statistically, this player is the best. He should have won MVP because of these reasons. And you just list their stats. But is that going to be how they pick this award? Like, they're like, all right, well, I made this much money in this amount of time, stayed on top in the theaters for 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's an achievement of itself nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely.
Infinity War came out 1 week, and then 2 weeks later it was like Deadpool, and then Solo was right after. So here's a list of the Best Picture nominees from last year. Tell me if anyone has seen any of them. Call Me by Your Name, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk.
I saw it.
How was that? Is it really like 3 scenes? Like just cut between it, right?
Yeah, time period, different times.
All right. Get Out.
I saw that. That was amazing.
It is good.
Absolutely, such a good movie.
Still have not watched that one. Lady Bird. Phantom Thread. Phantom Thread.
I wanted to see that, but haven't.
What's that about?
Some thread that's phantom like.
We do not accept pieces of string.
It's sort of like a fictional designer, and it's Daniel Day-Lewis's. He says it's his last movie.
Interesting.
The Post.
Cool.
Shape of Water.
I saw that. It's weird.
Just Beauty and the Beast with the fish.
Yeah.
There goes that spoiler cast episode.
Yeah.
And then 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Sorry, Missouri. So
yeah, I only saw the fun ones.
The fun ones.
Dunkirk was.
Dunkirk
was
a laugh riot, wasn't it?
Fine. Dunkirk was probably okay for the people who like. I'm not a war movie kind of guy. Like,
except for Saving Private Ryan.
Unpopular opinion. I only liked. I thought that Saving Private Ryan was pretty okay. I didn't think that it was incredible. And
outside of the first, the storming of the beach, that, yeah, it's all right the rest of the way.
Yeah, and it's long, and it feels long.
But I cannot sit through comfortably when spoilers when Adam Goldberg is fighting with the German in the tower, like the sniper tower, and he gets stabbed, and that slow, like the knife going. No thanks.
Like, can we speed this up a little bit?
And he's there for his buddy.
Oh no, that's Shape of Water.
All right. Was Shape of Water sponsored by Pepperidge Farm?
Classic.
So we were just a quick thing. So 30 years ago today, Wayne Gretzky got traded or sold to the Los Angeles Kings.
Did I read that he's gonna be the new Drake type? He's gonna be like a brand ambassador for some hockey team.
Yeah, he's colluding with the Russians.
Damn it.
In the KHL. Mighty Ducks 2 is coming to life. He's not with Canada. He's now with the Russians. Not a Team USA. Did you see what Goldberg looks like now?
I was just going to say that. Speaking of Mighty Ducks, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He's like our age.
he's our age.
I guess that's what mesh does, though. I think that's what they were saying.
Yeah. It does a lot, but
it sounds like a test.
I saw this pretty funny image. I think TSN posted on Instagram, and it was like, if they made Mighty Ducks now, who would play each character?
Like a remake or?
No, like if they were just to remake. Yeah, if they were just to make it.
Remake? No.
If they were to remake it now. And then it was like, who would you pick for Goldberg? And I think the options were like The Rock, actual Goldberg, like the wrestler.
Goldberg.
Yeah. And I think what's his name from Superbad? Jonah Hill was one. And then people for Charlie Conway were like, I forget who they were, but it was pretty fun. The Goldberg one I thought was the funniest one, just because they actually chose Goldberg as one of them.
The Mighty Ducks, in theory.
Sorry?
Like, this is in this scenario, it's an adult version of Mighty Ducks.
I guess.
Weren't they kids?
Yeah, no, it was still kids. Hold on, I gotta find it because it was.
As a kid.
This is why we need like somebody on like fact checking and pulling up stuff we're talking about.
All right, here we go. Mighty Ducks updated cast. Who you got? So for Coach Bombay,
you still got to go with Emilio. I wouldn't recast Emilio.
The options are Ryan Reynolds, Will Arnett, Steve Carell, or Jay Baruchel?
Jay Burchell?
I don't know who that is. Yes. Charlie Conway, Finn Wolfhard, Chandler Riggs.
Oh, no, we gotta give our opinion on who it should be.
Oh, okay.
I like Will Arnett.
I feel you know what?
He's the Canadian. Well, Jay Baruchel is Canadian too, but I think Will Arnett would just be. It's the gravel you need.
In this picture, the one they chose, I think I would choose Steve Carell, but have Will Arnett be the coach of the Iceland team, or the opposing team.
Mm-hmm. We're making the first one, so he'd be the coach of the Hawks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Will Arnett would be good with the "it's not worth playing if you can't win" line. You pull that line off.
All right, so for Charlie Conway, we have Jacob Tremblay, Jake Dylan Grazer, Chandler Riggs, and Finn Wolfhard.
Oh, you need Carl.
I don't Coral.
You need Coral. Nah, Finn's too small. I think Finn's too small.
Yeah, Finn's too small. I don't know these people.
That's why I went with Carl. They got Fulton on there?
No. Okay, so Adam Banks.
Oh, Banksy.
Here we go. Tom Holland, Justin Bieber, Shawn Mendes, or Cameron Boyce?
I'm gonna go Justin Bieber.
For Adam Banks.
He does look like a cake eater. That's true.
Yeah, that's true. He's totally a cake eater.
Movies, musicals. If you cast Bieber, Mighty Ducks the musical.
Mighty Ducks the musical. All right, Jesse Hall, Jaden Smith, Caleb McLaughlin, Jacob Lattimore, and Tyree Brown.
You'd have to go Jane Smith because Jesse Hall is kind of a dick.
Yeah, I don't know. I only know Jaden Smith and the guy from Stranger
reason number
Things.
two. Reason number two is because it's the only familiar name. You got to put bankable stars in this movie if you want to get it off the ground.
But yeah, I thought that was a funny post.
I'm surprised that's something they don't remake. I guess you got to think hockey in the States is not.
It's not huge.
Well,
They could do another Varsity Blues.
They did it. It's called Friday Night Lights.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
I like how they made Friday Night Lights a movie,
show.
and then they did a TV show, and now they want to do a movie from the TV show.
Oh really? They're going back to the movies.
Yeah, alternate timelines. It should have like the Friday Night Lights movie team play the TV show team.
Who would win?
I think it'd be a tie.
Movie
I hope
team
they name the
probably has more
Wildcats.
money.
Were they the
The movie team
Wildcats?
has more money to pay their players.
Well, they're also
So
older now too.
there you go.
I think
Bigger.
they're both older.
Stronger.
The
Yeah,
TV
Varsity
show
Blues.
has 2 teams in it. So where would this? Then we'd have 3 teams because the TV show that one team splits into 2 teams.
How very shoot, what's that movie? With Denzel Washington.
Remember the Titans?
Yes. It's like the opposite of Remember the Titans.
Forget the Titans?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So do you see the Nintendo Direct that was this week about the new Super Smash Bros?
I didn't see it, but I just every time I looked, they were adding more characters, and it just made me so happy.
Yeah, so some of the new characters for those well initiated with the Nintendo verse. Simon Belmont, Dark Sheamus, and my personal favorite, King K. Cruel, the bad guy from Donkey Kong Country. Is in it.
Rumor has it that Wario might also make an appearance,
You gotta have Wario.
so that would be cool.
But the part that I thought was insane is that there's going to be 103 stages.
Yeah, because every character is going to have their own plus, and then each stage is like split up into so. Oh my god, I'm so excited to play.
December 7th can't come soon enough.
Was when I played that game with Link for some reason.
You don't
Yeah,
think-
there's
Zelda,
going to
right?
be a few versions of Link in this one actually.
He was my favorite.
He's going to be pretty
Character.
badass in this one. And then there's the Ultimate Edition that's coming.
Yes, I was
And
just going to bring that up.
Yeah, so it's going to come with a GameCube controller.
And
that you'll
adapter.
be able to, and an adapter so you can play on your Switch. Will you be getting it?
Yeah, well, I've never ever myself have used a GameCube controller because I never played the GameCube.
Yeah, I had the GameCube. I didn't have it. I played it. It was a pretty weird controller, and I didn't play a lot of Super Smash with it, so I don't think
we
I'm
talked about
gonna.
that before. It's the awkward analog sticks, right? 'Cause they
Yeah,
stick out.
exactly. Yep. I think I'm just gonna stick with my Pro controller for it, but yeah, I'm definitely excited for that. That's the December release, right?
December the 7th.
7th. God, so many days away. 4 months, 3 months. No, 4 months. Damn it.
You got a little bit more excited, then you got
Yeah.
put down again.
Oh. So close.
Well, you still have your Wii, right? That's the extent of your current generation.
No, my Wii's been gone for a while.
Not you,
I-
Holly.
Oh, sorry.
I still have my Wii. Michael has a
PlayStation 4?
PlayStation 4. Yes, that's it. Yeah. And I've played a few games on that, but
What have you played?
Scrabble. There's like a Hasbro games that you can play on it. So like you can play Monopoly. And then I played a Game of Thrones game on it.
I was just gonna say if you're gonna play anything on a PlayStation 4, it's definitely Monopoly.
Yeah, it's fun. Well, I like
Start throwing the controller at the screen.
nothing is 2-player anymore, and I like playing with some I like 2-player games.
Yeah, because everything's all online, right?
Well, that's why you need to get a Nintendo Switch. It's made for local gaming.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Nintendo, so all the games are cute,
Cartoony and fun.
cartoony, and fun. Although not Mario Aces. No, can't do it. Can't do it.
I'm not good at that game.
Now, have you done anything online with it, or have you just?
No, I've just been doing. It's not that.
It's Mario Aces is tennis.
Yes,
For those uninitiated.
We will need to do some onlining with it because I've been going through the adventure and I'm stuck on like 2 separate things that I just can't get past. It's super frustrating, and it's like pretty early in the game too, so it's very disappointing to say the least.
As disappointing as December 7th for Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, maybe even more so.
What's that game that everybody's playing now? It's online and like I don't know.
Fortnite.
Yeah, I hear about that all the time now.
Yeah,
it's usually like 6 to 16-year-olds that are really hardcore into it.
Mm.
It's the new Halo on Xbox.
I did hear a story that apparently this is something that's growing. I think it's in the States, but it could be something that's growing in general. Is that people are hiring Fortnite tutors for their kids?
Really? That can't be true.
To help them improve. Yeah, man. To help them improve their play so they can start winning some of these battles.
Wow.
That is what this world has come to.
That seems just ridiculous.
Has anybody seen the commercial for the granola bar commercial, Nature Valley? You guys seen that? It's all they ask 2 generations what you used to do for fun, like what you do for fun as a kid. So like the first generation's like in their 80s, and they went like blueberry picking and like that kind of stuff, and it was all outdoors. Mm-hmm. And then they asked like our generation, and it was like playing hide and go seek and like playing with neighborhood kids. And then they asked this generation, and it was all video games.
No, I haven't seen that one. Did anyone play with a stick and a wheel?
I'll have to look that up. Yeah. I'm in the middle. I like being outside, but I'm definitely I like staying at home and watching movies and playing video games. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like sometimes you just want to kick back with a puzzle. So
not a cold beer?
No, that's what I meant.
One of those dollar beers?
No, skip past that topic.
Oh, come on. It clearly sounds like you're all for it.
Yeah, something like that.
No, let's save that one for Ryan, because I'm sure he's all absolutely on board.
Yeah.
I was in a meeting at work last week, and we were talking about because they want to set up something with an upcoming festival that they're working on. And one of the things was brought up is have kids play Fortnite there and have it on Twitch. And they kept going on about how all their kids do is they'll sit at home on YouTube and watch people play video games, which we talked about before.
We did. Yep.
Yeah. So, this Fortnite and kids not wanting to do things on their own is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Fortnite's a weird. Did you download Fortnite for the Switch?
It's on there. I've not touched it.
Yeah, I played one drop. I don't know, whatever you call it. It wasn't for me. Just straight I knew it going in, but I thought I'd give it a chance anyway, and it just wasn't, and it wasn't anything that I was interested in, and but apparently it's like
that's huge.
It's the new Minecraft basically.
Mm-hmm.
You can go in and you can fight it or whatever, but apparently you can build things. You can build houses and shelters and forts and all that kind of stuff. So if you're, it's not just a go in and, shoot them up and kill whatever, that's the main thing. Mm-hmm. But there's also a lot of other things that you can do in it. While you're doing it, you're probably going to get killed, but it's still there.
I feel as though this is like all built off of Call of Duty, right? Because that was like probably like the first one that really had a full blown online campaign where you have
Yeah.
stuff like this going on.
Yeah, because Halo was always like
It's more of a system link, right? When it started on
but yeah.
PlayStation or sorry, Xbox. You can do
Yeah,
your
but you could play
multiplayer and
online,
link
but it
up.
was always just like a battle royale
Yeah,
thing. It wasn't like you could do missions or you could work. I mean, I guess you could work together, you know, killing other people, but
it's always good to team up and kill someone.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's bizarre. I played when it first came out, Grand Theft Auto. Are these games kind of like that a little bit? I don't know.
I think the Grand Theft Auto 5 online is just insane now.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have it's like a whole economy built on it, right?
Or
yeah, well,
like
they can do
Second
a
Life.
lot of like you can do missions. You can just do like basically just drive around. Like I think it was a Grand Theft Auto 4, the first one on PlayStation. I think 3. The online like you could just drop in, drive around, and like it was like entering a war zone because people are just booking in and stealing cars. You can just run around the streets, kind of like you would just do walk like open world, right? So you just walk around Liberty City or whatever, but at the same time, people are like jacking cars around you and all that stuff. This is like now even far more in depth. Because I think they made I think they've made over $1 billion in revenue just on the online play.
Really?
Yeah, it's its own ecosystem for them now.
That's crazy. Do you know if the new Spider-Man game is going to have any sort of online portion of it? Like I
think it's all just one player.
That would be pretty cool. Like an open world where people are just like swinging around, running into each other without fighting, though.
Yeah, you can spend $80 on a game just to web swing around.
They had a game like that on the computer.
100%. That's what I'm going to be doing.
How far are you in the game? Haven't even started it.
Yeah, I just entered my name. Spider Thrill.
Any tech talk, Mr. Official?
Well, Samsung just came out with a new device today, and speaking of Fortnite, they will be the exclusive Fortnite for Android phone for about a month or so. I don't know. I'm not super interested in the phone itself. It's pretty cool. Other tech stuff though, basically, the new version of Android is finally rolling out to the very small percentage of Android users that use a Pixel phone, like me.
Oh.
But I've been running the developer beta on there for months anyway, so it's there's not a lot of new stuff for me. It's pretty cool. They went with a name that I am not a huge fan of, Android Pie, but I don't get a say in it. So Google.
You don't?
Nope.
Not yet.
Nope. Maybe next year. Maybe next year Google will enlist my services for what's the next letter? Q. It's a dessert that starts with Q.
Quiche.
Is that a dessert? It's like a savory.
I don't know. It has pie.
Yeah. I'm like, there's not a lot of foods that start with Q. Oh wait, they could. Oh wait, no wait. I was gonna say Quick, like the chocolate milk stuff, but it's.
I was gonna say that too.
I miss Quick.
Yeah, maybe they'll go with that. Maybe they'll, because they partnered with Nestle before for Kit Kat
right?
stuff. Yeah.
I know this counts as your tech talk. We see that YouTube is about to pass Facebook as the second most popular site online.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Take that, Zuckerberg.
Yeah. Lose another
of the
$120
three of
billion.
us, of the three of us, I think one here uses Facebook far more regular than the other two, and it ain't us.
Not us.
Sure.
I use it.
I see the pictures with the countdown for the wedding.
So that means you're using it. You're just not posting, but you're.
No, I use it when I post for the show, and then that's it.
So you are watching. I used
That's
to
for the courts to decide.
But people started telling me they were gonna unfriend me if I didn't stop posting pictures of my dog. So now it's just wedding stuff.
That's what Instagram's for.
Do you know you can get an Instagram account for your pet? Someone was just telling me to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. I have lots of friends that have pet accounts.
So what is this, like a separate
like it's
entity, or
I'd have I'd have like my account for me, and then I'd have a separate account like Dexter Serdowski, and he'd be an Instagram user, and I'd post exclusively pictures of him.
It's just like us with Open Collar, but
is it like a kid account or something? Like, like you open like a family plan? So wait, after the wedding, does Dexter's last name get changed too? Does he have to like file paperwork, or?
I don't know.
That's gonna be a bitch.
That'll be a question for.
Oh, he's a boy.
Oh, I see. There it is.
The name's Dexter. Come on.
I guess we'll see. I guess I have to change his name so that has to have the same name as his mom.
Yeah, what does he think about that?
He's not in love with it. First,
he's gonna pee everywhere, and nobody's gonna say boo.
Gotta get the adoption papers.
Custody stuff. Oh man, that's gonna be it's gonna be huge.
Throw Holly under the bus and say, "You have anything you want to throw in on the show? Well, yeah. Anything you want to plug?"
Wedding hashtags.
I was already told I can't talk about Keeping Up with the Kardashians, so I'll leave that alone.
Well, what's the Keep Up with the Kardashians about? I saw her horrible photo shoot that happened the other day.
Which one?
There's this new meme going around where she's like sprawled out on some blanket or something like that. Someone, I think Boss Logic, who I follow on Instagram, great graphic designer, actually edited her. I'll send it to you, Michelle. It's her on the Spider-Man cover.
Really?
So the Spider-Man game. She's all like, looks like she's web swinging.
I'm looking it up right now. I need to see that instantaneously.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Apparently, it's the newest meme of just her laying there and people photoshopping on it and everything.
Oh, I did see that actually.
Yeah, there you go.
And you know what? One thing I'll bring up. So I don't know if you guys, Forbes just came out with their top made female billionaires.
Did I make the list?
Are you a female billionaire?
I am not female, nor do I have $1 billion.
But
number
they
50.
put Kylie Jenner on the cover. So it caused like a lot of uproar because I don't think she'd be the definition of self-made.
No, absolutely not.
She was born on the 50-yard line, so I guess easy pickings for her.
Yeah, like they could do that, or they could pick some, I don't know, high-level CEO of somewhere that people just wouldn't recognize, and they went with who's gonna buy this magazine.
Well, I like that. Like, just look at like Kim Kardashian. Like, if you want to talk about James Gunn losing his job based on some stupid jokes he made 10 years ago, everyone forgets how she got famous, right? At this point, the kids are not growing up knowing that she is where she is because of a sex tape that she signed off on to be released and got millions of dollars from.
Exactly, but it doesn't
change anything.
It doesn't
won't change.
But the thing is, it's also, who can fire her? She's her own entity kind of thing.
They are the real life equivalent of the come to life advertisements from the Treehouse of Horror episode of The Simpsons.
Yes.
If you just don't look, they will go away.
Yeah.
But everyone keeps looking.
They keep looking.
You can't look away. It's like a car accident.
I need the Paul Anka guarantee. Just don't look.
It seems
like it should be so easy to look away.
It's so funny too because they're doing a Calvin Klein thing right now, like the photo shoot, and they're like, I think people are drawn to us because we're so relatable.
Yeah. Okay.
I think they're the opposite of relatable, but I don't know what else is going on that I find interesting. think.
Well-
Sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say, because I know in this household we hear a lot of celebrity pregnancies. What is the infatuation with a celebrity pregnancy? Like, is it just girls have to have a say about other girls' lives, or?
I think it's that. I don't know. I don't see the fascination in the whole celebrity pregnancy as much. Like I definitely want to hear about it. I always
Why is it like the
I
fear
don't
of
get
missing
it,
out?
but
Like,
I
I don't
need to
get it, but
know.
yeah, just tell me.
I mean, I don't follow their pregnancy, but it is interesting to hear when they're pregnant. I don't know. I guess it's exciting. It's always exciting when somebody's pregnant. So
Yeah, guys don't have that though.
That's okay. I don't think that's true. Like if you were just walking down the street and some random person across the road was pregnant, you're not excited for it. You're like, oh, okay, she's pregnant.
I don't know.
Like there's a lot
I wonder
less
if it's
of
one of
a
those like created by the media type thing. You see people get excited on TV shows. So you think that's how you're supposed to act?
like what is that? I mean, I feel like it's similar to maybe not the royal wedding. I feel like that was just an event.
They have no
Or,
power.
like, other celebrity marriages and subsequently divorces and stuff like that. Like I feel like those get a lot of attention when really like why should they, our thoughts on the matter don't affect what they're going to be doing,
No, but there's people who make their lives right talking about their other people's lives.
Absolutely.
So they hope that we care, right? Like we're having this conversation.
That's right.
I guess to some extent, maybe people feel like they know celebrities, even though obviously they don't know them. But so then maybe
Yeah,
they're
because
like,
they're people you let into your home through your television, right?
Yeah.
hmm.
Yeah, and there's lots like I mean I say lots of times where people like I mean I have absolutely no idea who Chris Pratt is as a person, but from what I've seen, I feel like he's exactly how he is on TV. I feel like I would want to be his friend because he would be that kind of person. He's not, there's not like Chris Pratt the person and then Chris Pratt the actor. I feel like they're both essentially the same. He's not really trying to be any different in all his roles. But I don't know that for sure. I mean, he could be a completely different person when he's, when the cameras aren't on him.
Yeah, it's like here a good example is Tom Cruise, right? The media is all let us believe that he's insane. Yet, like every time I've ever heard anyone talk about him, I've only ever heard of nice things.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's such a good guy. Like I've heard
great guy to work with.
Yeah, like, Thomas Lennon, from Super Troopers and
Yep.
a bunch. He was on a podcast I listened to like a couple years ago and said he was, I think, had a very small role in one of his movies, and he came in for a table read, and then so he's sitting down waiting for Tom to show up. Tom Cruise shows up, and then he walks in. He introduces himself to everybody in the room, asks everybody's name, and throughout the whole time, every time he talked to them, would refer to them as his first name, give notes, take comments, and all that stuff, and said that he was like the greatest guy.
Yeah,
and yet again, everyone believes like he's insane because of his
Scientology stuff. Yeah.
I like Tom Cruise. I find him a lot of the stuff he's in. He's super like funny, like which you wouldn't think of. Tom Cruise as funny, but
he's an excellent actor.
I just rewatched Tropic Thunder the other day. Such a great movie.
I think Top Gun is going to be coming up on my playlist soon. It's been a while. I saw Ghost Protocol, which
that's the next one.
Yeah, I thought it was great. But like the entire time, I'm like, you know what? If you saw Ghost Protocol or if you saw Top Gun and then saw Ghost Protocol, like 3 years later, you're like, yep, this is about how much this person would have aged. Like Tom Cruise, he looks like less than 5 years older than he did in Top Gun, and it's ridiculous. And I'm not just saying that because I'm jealous.
You're just a little
jealous.
It's
it's crazy.
Just a little jealous.
You ever see Edge of Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yes.
I haven't watched that one yet.
Is that the one with Emily Blunt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the action Groundhog Day.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
Yeah,
good.
that's
I enjoyed
excellent.
that one.
And so did I. Like
Yeah.
he's good in most of the stuff you see him in. He's a good
Sure.
actor. Does his
Well,
own
he's-
stunts, which is kind of neat.
Very cool.
Now, does that change your willingness or want to see a movie if you know an actor's doing his own stunts?
I don't think so. As long as I don't know, like if I can't tell that it's not him, you know what I mean? Like if it's very obvious that it's not that person doing it and it's
Like
not
if you were to go
CGI.
back and rewatch the original Star Trek TV show and see that every time like there's a cut with Bill Shatner, you know it's not him.
Yeah.
He got a different body type, his hair's different, he's taller.
Like that's different, but if it doesn't take me out of the movie in that moment, I don't care as much. I'm not going to go see a movie specifically because, like, if I had a choice of two movies, I'm not going to be like, well, this guy does his own stunts, so I'd rather see that movie.
What if this guy you knew got hurt doing a stunt?
I still I don't think
I
that
want
it
to
would.
see where he broke his leg.
Yeah.
You know who got very hurt doing a stunt was the guy from Maze Runner. Do you see the
Is that
Maze?
Logan something?
I can't even remember his name, but they did like the first Maze Runner and then the second one, and then there was like several years of a gap, and now they're doing the third one. And it was because the main guy got hurt, and so they had to like wait.
Like he got hurt doing a stunt, or he got hurt outside of.
I mean, we'd have to fact check it, but I think he got hurt doing the second Maze Runner.
Really, and it took that long to recover.
I think he was like very hurt doing
Crazy.
it. Yeah.
Oh, this is the books.
But don't
Hold on.
fact check me.
Oh,
Don't fact
we
check.
fact check Ryan. We're fact checking you.
This is like a presidential debate. You can fact check it later and then just put it in the margin so nobody.
Dylan O'Brien is the lad's name. That's who it was. Oh, I thought Logan. Come on. Who am I? What's her face? Hold on. Let me get to Thor. Amy Alexander. That happened in Thor Dark World. She, I think, almost broke her back. Was almost paralyzed.
Oh, really? Damn.
Yeah. Like she wasn't really doing her own stunts. It just happened to in the middle of a stunt. And that's why she was barely in the movie.
They really don't want the actors to do their own stunts because if they, like Tom Cruise did get hurt on one of the new ones.
I think he's gotten hurt like every Mission Impossible movie. He's gotten at least something.
And then it delays the movie and it costs so much.
Yeah, 3 weeks, broke his ankle.
Yeah, like to delay the movie. So I think they're really encouraging not to do their own stunts.
Same thing happened to Robert Downey Jr. in Iron Man 3. Broke his
Right.
ankle. And he's on a rig, right? He's not really doing actual stunts. I can't remember what he did.
I know I got hurt doing my own stunts in my career.
And that's why you retired from
That's retired, and now you're just doing the podcast circuit.
That's right.
Telling your story.
Yep. Be a lesson to everybody.
Yeah. Don't do what Johnny don't does.
So I have a book for that. Okay, so we ran a little bit long, so I'll cut out the story and just end with a nice, fun dad bad. Ugh. Wow, that's how bad it was. Bad joke for this week. So, what do you call somebody with no body and no nose? Nobody knows.
Classic.
Right?
Oh man.
All right. So, I guess I'd like to thank our special guest for this week.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here. First time.
Thanks for coming.
First time caller.
Be sure to grab your complimentary T-shirt and mug on your way out.
Your hat is in the mail.
Postage due. But thanks for coming on, and door is always open for a return appearance. Ryan, you are no longer welcome.
You've got a new one now.
That's right. It's Open Caller for this week. Follow the show socially, facebook.com/Open Caller Podcast and Twitter and Instagram, Open Caller Pod. For Michelle and Holly, this is Corey reminding you, keep it casual.
And check out our last video up here at this link and subscribe right here. somewhere.